Live from the Liberty University Field Hockey Complex, a picture-perfect Saturday early evening sees the Lynchburg Hornets play host to the Center Colonels. Two top 20 teams across the D3 landscape. Lynchburg looking to make it wins against back-to-back ranked foes, entering at 2-3 on the season. Meanwhile, Center looking to stay perfect, come in at 6-0, looking for win number 7. All this and more coming to you on LHSN. TJ Wingert here with you. Thank you for tuning in this Saturday late afternoon, early evening. We appreciate you doing just that. Lynchburg a week ago today picked up a win against ranked number 13 Ursinus Bears, 4-3 victory in overtime. It was Jackie Laro coming away with the golden goal, and for her efforts named ODAC Player of the Week as well as National D3 Player of the Week. 2 goals and an assist in that contest. All told, up to 2 goals, 5 assists on the season. Meanwhile, Center, perfect 6-0, including wins against Allegheny, Wittenberg, Kenyon, at Denison, Transylvania, and their most recent win, 2-0 against Earlham. Go ahead and present to you the starting lineups for today's two teams, starting with Center. Caroline Page, there at the top of your screen. Some other noteworthy names, Marin Lee, 4 goals, started all 7 games now. Also have to mention team leader in scoring Meredith Wickenheiser, senior from Louisville, Kentucky. 5 goals, 2 assists on the year, and of course the keeper is Sienna Joseph. Now we'll go ahead and show you the starting lineups for Lynchburg. Talked about Laro already, but Emily Dudley just as potent at the top of that attack. Brittany Clayball does a lot of the dirty work, as does Emma Strauss in the midfield, attacking midfield portion. A big name you'll hear me call a lot today is Riley Cameron alongside Aaron Boatwright. Those two will have their hands full across the back line. And then also have Kessa Romero, who does just a little bit of everything. Plays great defense, controls in the midfield, and is a part of the offensive attack. Well, with the stage set, we are underway. Center has the opening possession. Last time these two teams met was back in 2019. Center did not play in 2020 due to COVID-19. But in that 2019 contest between these two teams, it was in the NCAA tournament. Lynchburg coming away with a 2-1 victory. Last time the teams met one another before then was back in 2014. It was a win for Center at Lynchburg. Final score 2-1 there as well. Kaylee Truitt swings it back to Aaron Boatwright. Little give and go. Pass intended and missing long up the sideline, looking for Brittany Clayball, senior from Chesapeake, Virginia, 3rd team All-ODAC last year. Another fun part to this matchup, 2 teams picked to win their conference in the preseason polls. Center coming from the SAA, and of course Lynchburg hailing from the ODAC. Madison Mark, a freshman, cleans up a strong beginning of the run for Center. Colonels keep possession. Colonels coached by 11th year head coach Janelle Anthony Downs. On the other side, 43 years of experience with head coach Enza Steele. Center just outside the circle, gets the whistle. They'll try to play quick. Whistle blown quickly thereafter. Meredith Wickenheiser wanted to play the advantage. Instead, Shelby Young forced to reset. Wickenheiser goes 180, has it poked away. Kaylee Truitt picks up the loose ball. Kate Pilcher had it for a moment. Draws the foul. Now Wickenheiser marked up by Clayball. Whistle again blown. Possession stays with Center, the number 18 team in the country. The early time of possession lead. Trying to play it towards the semicircle and deflect it out of play. Talked about Sienna Joseph, the starting keeper today for Center. On the other side, between the posts for Lynchburg is sophomore Kayla Brady. And she was fantastic a week ago. Did a lot to try to slow down the Ursinus attack. Come up with some big saves, especially in the second half and in overtime. Turnover created for the Colonels. Aaron Boatwright there to take it back for Lynchburg. Working up that far sideline. Tries to play it back to the center of the field. Emily Dudley looking for Truitt. Pass behind the senior from Delaware. Center will start up on their side of the field. Marin Lee will start the possession, swinging it back to the center back. Looks to be Gabby Floro. Center tries to play direct, going back line straight. Spearhead of the attack, looking for Ellie Dunham. Now Brittany Clayball with it on the far sideline. Has it poked away. Possession stays with Lynchburg. And that's, I said at the top of the broadcast, it is an absolutely perfect Saturday outside. Called it Goldilocks weather. Not too hot, not too cold. Technically speaking, 73 degrees. Partly cloudy. Center resets on the offensive possession. It looks like Bella Estes there in the center back spot, swinging it from one end of the field to the other. Jackie Laro creates the turnover, marked up by opposing number 1, Caroline Page. Laro stops, retreats back to the edge of the circle, wanting to try to create the redirect. Right in front of the net was Emily Dudley. You'll see her live there all day long. Also in the vicinity was number 24, Emily Yanis, getting her first start on the year. It's been a bit of a rotation. Franca Veranek was fantastic at the beginning of the year, but has been battling some injuries. Might see her come on as a reserve today for 5-minute stretches. Good spark off the bench. Starting in Veronek's place last Friday was Riley Weinfordner, who I thought played pretty well. Overall, Weinfordner does have 3 starts this year. But Weinfordner not in the starting 11. Instead, it's Emily Yanis. Boatwright picks the pass off, has Truitt. Truitt has it poked away, but the foul on the play. But you can see it early on. Ellie Dunham, as well as Shelby Young, those 2 forwards create a whole lot of opportunities. Press, and then they spearhead the attack the other direction. Brittany Clayball charging towards the attacking third, has Jackie Laro. Lynchburg, keen early on, attacking to that far side. Now they'll swing it out to the middle of the field. It's Emma Strauss. Pair of white jerseys. Pick her up. Now Kessa Romero, the junior and second team All-ODAC last year. Wants to redeflect. Emily Dudley gets a stick on it. Called a dangerous ball. Pass goes out of play. They'll say last touch by Lynchburg. So Sienna Joseph in the center defense. Stan, the first real test we've seen. Officially goes down as a shot on goal. And a save for Joseph, the junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Started all 7 games last season that center played back in 2019. Had 3 games played and 1 start. But so far this year, Joseph with just 2 saves, both coming at Denison. Goal against average at .71. And you want to talk about how good this center defense has been. Last time they have allowed a goal was at Kenyon, 3-2. Next 3 games have all been shutouts. 7-0 at Denison. 7-0 at Transylvania and 2-0 at Earlham. Only allowed 3 goals all season long. Compare that to 21 goals on the offensive side for center. Same stats for Lynchburg. Sees 12 goals in the year, allowed 11. Pass intended for Giannis. Looks like it went off her foot and out of play. Two teams exchange possession. Kessa Romero to reinsert on the near sideline. On the year, Romero with a goal and an assist, 13 shots. Just outside the attacking third, looking to get it towards the semicircle, deflected off a Colonel defender. Emily Dudley gets to the loose ball, working one-on-one against Shelby Young. Young has it. Now on the far side. Nice move from Marin Lee. Gets past Aaron Boatwright. And she charges forward, center, in positive territory. Just under 7.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Wickenheiser has it deflected to Dunham just outside the circle. Draws a pair of defenders, and lots of contact coming from Madison Mark. The whistle is blown, and we have our first penalty corner on the day. Best scoring chance early on in this one goes to the favor of the Colonels. Looks like Marin Lee will head out to the end line to insert. Out to the far side now, top of the circle. And it was more of a pass than a shot necessarily. Ellie Dunham was right in front of the net. That pass was just a little bit behind Dunham. Otherwise, the redeflect might have been there for center, and we could have been talking about a 1-0 lead for the Colonels, but all for naught. Kaylee Truitt will swing it over to Emma Strauss. Strauss gives, it looks like she was trying to attempt the pass to Boatwright, left it a little soft, and center creates the turnover. Dunham works her way into the attacking third. Pass ahead, broken up. Kessa Romero to the loose ball. Now she has it taken away. Kate Pilcher, opportunistic, and center's going to be called for a foul here, but it does still put Lynchburg back against the wall. And the press will come up a little bit higher for the Colonels. Looking for Dudley. Pass broken up. And Boatwright gets her stick down, has it deflected away, but center able to maintain possession. Just under 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Young goes out wide. Wanted Megan Coombs, the senior from Louisville, Kentucky. Unable to connect. Coombs playing on her 7th game this year. 6th start. 4 goals, 4 assists. Lero, she can do a lot on her own. Weaves through the center defense, has it poked away. Ball still loose, and now we finally get the whistle blown. Center tried to play quick. Strauss there to take it away. Wanted Romero. Really nice play from Marin Lee. And Lee has possession for the Colonels. Wanted to swing it to the middle of the field for Dunham. That pass was broken up, but there to the loose ball was Maggie Will. Riley Cameron, first time calling her game during the action. The center back sweeps it away. Dangerous ball ahead. Deflecting off the arm of Kaylee Truitt, senior from Delaware. Takes the body blow, keeps on trucking. Lynchburg will have possession. Erin Boatwright, really talented sophomore from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Does a little bit of everything for Lynchburg. She had the assist on the game winner from last Friday night's overtime thriller against her Sinus. Foul on the play. Center will take over. First ranked opponent on the slate for center. Come in ranked number 18 in the country. Lynchburg just behind him at 19. Meanwhile, for Lynchburg, they've come very accustomed to taking on ranked opponents. 4th consecutive game against a team in the top 25. It was Johns Hopkins at the time, number 3 in the country, now number 2. Keene College thereafter at 10, now they're 5th. Latest coaches poll. Marin Lee gets inside the shooting circle. The attempt goes sideways, and now Lynchburg will take over. Continue my point after Keene College, of course, last Friday night. The win against number 13er Sinus. Not the cleanest of passes from Mark. Now Cameron fielding a ton of pressure. And this is where you see the advantage time of possession can play in the game of field hockey. No goals or anything on the scoreboard to show for the offensive effort so far from center, but because they've put a lot of pressure on the Lynchburg defense, had them living in their defensive third, once Lynchburg has possession and they're forced to start up, you can bring your press really high and apply that much more pressure, try to create a turnover and a quality look. in the offensive third. Good clear there from Lynchburg, and that takes away everything I was just talking about and forces center to go the length of the field. Lee passes it right to Strauss. Easiest turnover for Strauss of the year. Jackie Laro vying for position against Bella Estes. Will find none. Estes will go to the aerial. Has Dunham. And plays it back for Lee. Pass ahead, goes out of play across the far sideline. Less than 2 minutes left in the opening quarter. Still looking for our first score of the day. Only one shot. It was on goal. Came from Lynchburg, and it was a save for Sienna Joseph. Outside the circle, shot is wide right. Center right back in the attacking third on the offensive side. Strauss, though, there to take it away. But here in the opening quarter, we saw center really dominate in regards to time of possession. They forced Lynchburg midfield and back line to create plays or to stalwart the rush. This won't help. Minute and 4 seconds left in the first quarter. Looks like it deflected off the leg of Strauss. Penalty corner incoming for center. Great scoring chance for the Colonels. Second PC of the first quarter. Marin Lee towards the top of the circle. Flanking to her left is Bella Estes. Insert comes from the near side. Top of the circle. Wickenheiser takes the shot. Deflected off the body. It looked like of Kayla Brady. Wickenheiser gets her first shot on the day. First shot on goal for center. An immediate takeaway coming from Marin Lee. Wanted Olivia Broyles just ahead of her. Pass was just ahead of the junior from Louisville. Speaking of Broyles, making her third consecutive start of the year. Not in the starting 11. 3 goals on 8 shots this season. Very efficient clip. Top of the circle, Franca Veronek gives to Dudley. Dudley with one step in, has it ripped away. 10 seconds left in the opening quarter. Madison Mark into the attacking third and had Laro just in front of the net, but deflected off the stick. It looked like of Bella Estes as it's rolled back towards the pitch. Buzzer sounds, bringing a close to an eventful first quarter between Lynchburg and center. No score so far, but plenty of action left on the table between these two sides. We'll take a quick pause, come back with more between the Hornets and the Colonels, coming to you on LHSN. We're set for the second quarter between number 18 center and number 19 Lynchburg, coming to you from the Liberty University Field Hockey Complex on a Saturday with a pair of top 25 matchups across college football. It's Texas A&M and Arkansas and the Notre Dame, Wisconsin. We bring to you a top 25 battle between the Colonels and the Hornets on LHSN. Thank you all for spending your Saturday evening here with us. TJ Wingert on the headset. Aaron Boatwright breaks up the pass, then has it ripped away. Ellie Dunham, the top of the attack for center. Going away with the loose ball. Looks to be Marin Lee. And instead it looks like it was Megan Combs. Possession back with the Hornets. Strauss sends it forward for Dudley. First touch does not betray her. A little bit of a miscommunication. Pass goes right in the direction of Caroline Page. No Lynchburg player anywhere in the vicinity. Foul on the play. Laro picks up the loose ball, and another whistle comes in. Now they're going to reverse their call. Center will play off the advantage. Now that attack halted by our officials. The second quarter picks up right where we left off at the end of the first quarter. Back and forth. Both teams trying to play with tempo. We've only seen one shot from both teams. That's not to say that there hasn't been good pace and a fair amount of action to go with it. Megan Speth swings it over to Lee. She's done a lot in the midfield today. One more time over. This is Shelby Young. Laro, good dribbling skills. Working left to right. Bella Estes sweeps it away. Possession will stay with Lynchburg. And there you see what Laro does besides her goal and assist production. She has the ability to just win possession and put her head down and go at it and change the entire way you're looking at a current contest and its current standing. There's the type of player that can take possession to where your defense is with their back against the wall, and next thing you know, like we see now, Lynchburg in the attacking third. It's Casa Romero along the near side. Has Madison Mark. That's where she'll swing it to. The freshman sends it towards the semicircle. Dudley there. Poked away. Lynchburg will keep possession right at the attacking third mark. Strauss wanted Veranek. Freshman's been a really nice addition to the attack. 6-game play. She has 3 starts, 2 goals, 4 shots. Claybaugh splits the difference between Veranek and Laro. Then comes away with a turnover. Working towards the end line. Has Erin Bosdak in front of her. Combs there to pick up the loose ball. Pass ahead. Now swung back to the back line. Less than 12 minutes left until halftime. Looking for Dunham. Can't handle the hot pass. Strauss looking for any room across that far sideline. Gets the foul called against the Colonels. On the year, center 2-0 on the road. Wins coming against Kenyon and Denison. 10-2 scoring differential in those 2 road games. Meanwhile, Lynchburg hasn't officially played a home game on Schellenberger Field at the University of Lynchburg, but technically 1-0 at home. The reason they're playing these games over at Liberty is due to the AstroTurf field. A lot of teams from the Northeast accustomed to playing on the AstroTurf, and it is a little different than the grass on Schellenberger Field. So last week versus Ursinus, today against Center. Lynchburg will call Liberty University Field Hockey Complex home. And speaking of turf, it's really interesting. You talked with Coach Steele, or 43rd year at the helm for Lynchburg. She talked about some of the different turfs they've played on this year, including at Keene College. They play the same field football team does there at Keene, and it plays a lot slower. It's more like molasses trying to get the ball to move through it. Here, ball plays a little quicker. The advantage Lynchburg's been able to practice here at the Liberty University Field Hockey Complex. At Keene, they went there and weren't exactly sure how the field would play, and it was a little different to say the least. Third penalty corner of the day for center. Looks like Coombs will insert. Pass goes to Estes. Near side wing. Back to Coombs. Shot just wide. Got underneath the foot of Caleb Brady. But Brady does a really good job. Young keeper. But she does a really solid job putting herself in the right spot to where even if you get a shot by her, it's got to be the perfect angle to be able to find the back of the cage. Center unable to do so on the last penalty corner. They're now 0 for 3 on those chances. The Colonels keep getting those opportunities. Eventually, feel like they have to convert. So it'll be a big task ahead of Lynchburg, trying to limit the opportunities that center has. One, living in the shooting circle, but then two, playing clean and avoiding gifting center those penalty corner chances. And it's Caleb Brady starting between the posts for Lynchburg. Alex Boatwright will be back eventually this year. It's a good problem for Coach Steele to have. Really liked what I've seen from Brady. Boatwright, a senior from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Sister to Aaron Boatwright. Left back for the Hornets. On the near side, Megan Speth. Breaks it towards the midfield line as it poked away by Veranek. Parlays it back to Estes, who will reverse fields for center. High pressure applied by Veranek. Nice stick work, though, from Shelby Young. Evades the oncoming rush. And Marin Lee, nice dribble skills. And center like that. Back into their attacking third. Speth waits patiently, sends it all the way back to Estes. Center back in no rush either. And another advantage of being the team that's in the driver's seat and controlling time of possession. You can bring that back line all the way up towards midfield like we just saw center do, and you have the opportunity to reset. You're not having to rush into a look that you don't like or a shot that's more than likely not going to bring anything fruitful. Casa Romero would have been a nice pass ahead. Wanted Veranek. Left it just behind the freshman. But talking about center controlling time of possession, have to give credit then to the Lynchburg defense. That means they've had their backs into the defensive third more often than center's done that. But here we are, one shot each side, no goals. But the stat that really highlights the possession advantage for the Colonels, 3 PCs to 0 for Lynchburg. Deep pass ahead for Dunham, just barely able to keep it in. Fantastic hustle there from the junior. Absorbs some contact from Boatwright. Now deflected outside the circle by Boatwright. Whistle blown on the play. It'll stay with center on that far side, just outside the semicircle. Riley Weinforner, the closest defender. Brittany Clayball takes this one away. Has 2 Colonel defenders in the vicinity. Now it's Veranek pushing into positive territory, into the attacking third, just in front of her. Aaron Bosdek slows down the attack, at least for a moment. Looks like this would be called a dangerous ball. Going to bring a close to the run for the Hornets. Speth has Dudley in front of her. Pass sent towards the middle of the field. Picked up by Strauss. Can't control it. Lee looking for Combs. Boatwright breaks it up. Two teams exchange possession for a second. Whistle's blown, stays with Lynchburg. We talked about Coach Steele a little bit ago on the other side. 11th year head coach Janelle Anthony Downs, 132 wins to 49 losses. Last full season that center played, 2019, his team went 18-1. The loss came in the NCAA tournament. They went 16-0 in the regular season. And, of course, that loss in 2019, lone one on the Colonel's resume, was at the hands of Lynchburg. Center with a chance for revenge in this regular season contest. Coach Anthony Downs, 6-time SAA Coach of the Year, and has either won a regular season or a tournament title in each of the last 7 seasons. The SAA only has 5 teams that compete in field hockey, but despite it being a small conference, there's one team etched towards the top of the standings, and that's clearly center. Strauss sends it towards Laro. Estes breaks it up, carries it towards midfield. Pass ahead for Young. Make that Pilcher just a little too strong. Madison Mark, a freshman that's impressed Coach Steele so far, sweeps it away, sends it all the way back. The Colonel's back line. Giannis gets a stick on it. Forces Bozdek to reset. Center offensive possession. Giannis again with a stick on it. First start of the year for Emily Giannis. Native to Stewartsville, New Jersey. 4 minutes and counting. Left until the end of the first half. Speth gets past Romero. Mark there to erase the chance. Dudley working to her left. Swings it over to Weinfordner. Other very impressive freshman of this Lynchburg program. Mark working against Lee. Lee gets the whistle. Marin Lee on the year, native to Fredericksburg, Virginia. Senior, started all 19 games in 2019 and all 16 in 2018. Had 2 goals this year against Wittenberg. The other 2 goals in the year coming against Denison and Transylvania. Dunham inside the circle. Brady, stick save. Picked up by Riley Cameron. Trying to go from her right to her left. Was stopped for a second by Pilcher. Now the clear attempt from Cameron lands at the feet of Dudley. She takes a mighty hack on it and has a deflect off of Shelby Young and then back towards the attacking third for center. Lynchburg just trying to have a moment where the defense can catch their breath. The attack for center early on in this one has been relentless. 360 from Romero. Makes some space, working against Speth. Also a Shelby Young. Pass from outside the circle, broken up by Bella Estes. And we haven't seen Lynchburg with a whole lot of opportunities inside the attacking third, but every time, Bella Estes has been right there. Feels like if Lynchburg's going to be able to find the back of the cage, it's going to be because they're able to pull Estes away from that center back spot. Maybe a 2-on-1 where you force her to make a decision. Of course, creating a 2-on-1 easier said than done. They are trying to press the advantage. Call for the foul, not happy. Exchanges a few words with the end line official. Lara pokes the pass from Speth away. 90 seconds to go in the first half. Loose ball lands at the feet of Strauss. Taken away by Maggie Will. Young swings it over to Dunham. Now back to Page. Good defense from Weinfordner. Creates the turnover. But the pass goes right underneath the stick of Giannis. As the possession goes right back to the Colonels. Trying to play quick. Off the restart. Giannis immediately has it poked away. Looking for Maggie Will. Pass for the freshman just a bit too long. Will actually high school valedictorian. One of 2 valedictorians on the roster. The other, trivia fact for our center fans watching, Claire Mecklin. Both freshmen from the Louisville, Kentucky area. Buzzer sounds. That'll bring a close to the first half. Still scoreless from the Liberty University Field Hockey Complex. You're watching Lynchburg and Center duke it out. Top 20 matchup has not disappointed yet. We'll step aside and come back, recap the first half for you here on LHSN. Don't go anywhere. More between the Hornets and the Colonels. Welcome back to the Liberty University Field Hockey Complex. It's halftime between Lynchburg and Center. Let's go ahead and reset and talk about that first half, get you set with everything you need to know for the second half. We'll show you some stats from the opening 30 minutes of play. Pretty even for the most part. Obviously, two sides with one shot on goal each, 3 shots in total for Center. Those shots coming from Ellie Dunham. She has the 1 shot on goal. The other 2 shots coming from Megan Coombs and Meredith Wickenheiser. The 1 shot for Lynchburg came from Emily Dudley. Where you really see a difference in those numbers, 3 penalty corners to none. A Center with the advantage over Lynchburg there, and that really just signifies they've dominated time of possession. I think that's fair to say. Upwards of 75% of the time feels like Center has not only had possession, but they've done a lot of work inside positive territory against Lynchburg, and even more so, you could argue, in the attacking third. On the other side, another number that indicates how much Lynchburg's had to do. They're back against the wall defensively. 16 fouls to just 4 for Center. That Lynchburg back line has certainly been tested. They've been able to hold their own, though. They've been there to answer the call. Obviously, we're still tied up 0-0. Just a couple minutes left until we get to the second half. We'll take a quick pause and come back with the second half of action between the Hornets and the Colonels, coming to you on LHSN. Moments away from the second half between the Colonels and the Hornets. You missed the first half. Didn't miss any scoring, but you missed a good, entertaining 30 minutes between these two teams. Center comes in ranked number 18 in the country. Lynchburg at number 19. So a top 20 heavyweight battle on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. I want to say thank you all for tuning in. TJ Wingard here with you. Second half will have Lynchburg start with possession. These two teams just looking to find the answer and break through. Center has scored at least twice in every game this year. Meanwhile, the other side of the coin, there has only been one game this year for Lynchburg that's been decided by more than one score. That was a 4-1 loss at Keene College. Pressing forward, Olivia Broyles, marked up by Emma Strauss. Swings it to Dunham. She has the 1 shot on goal for the Colonels. Defended by Aaron Boatwright. That's been a fun matchup all day long. Lots of contact. Possession will be awarded to Lynchburg. Boatwright to start. Wants Emily Giannis. Has it ripped away by Meredith Wickenheiser, senior from Louisville. Did not play against Earlham, so a welcome addition for Center to have Wickenheiser back into the starting lineup. And she had 3 goals, the hat trick against Transylvania in her last game played. Truitt had it ripped away. Colonels trying to set up Ellie Dunham, excuse me. Weinfordner to Giannis. Plays it ahead. Now Caroline Page with it for center. Send it towards midfield looking for Gabby Floro. Center gains possession on the far side. Pass for Marin Lee, a little too long. Cameron, there's the loose ball, and has her clear attempt. Find its way past a couple of Colonel defenders and gets to Jackie Laro. And like that, field position game completely switched. Lynchburg just outside the attacking third line. Kessa Romero swinging out wide. Has Madison mark. The step on her offender. Gets to the end line. Had Brittany Clayball right in front of her, just ahead of the post. Wasn't sure if it was a pass or ultimately played a little too strong for herself. Either way you spin it, it goes across the end line and goes back to the Colonels. Mark can't create the turnover. Strauss can't either. Looks like it went off the foot of Strauss regardless. Megan Coombs winning possession a couple times for center. Bella Estes has been fantastic in that center back spot. Floro picked up by a pair of defenders. Pass ahead, broken up by Boatwright. Boatwright forced to send it all the way back to Riley Cameron, sophomore who's getting a big role for that defensive back line for Lynchburg. Strauss trying to navigate through traffic, surrounded by white jerseys. This ball picked up by Wickenheiser. Loose ball forward. Cameron the first one to it. Had Floro in front of her. Has Giannis. Hits the brakes. Now gets it to Clayball. Nearly had Laro. Good stick skills from Estes. Able to break up the pass. Estes had 17 starts in 2019. She started all 7 games now for center this season. Has an assist that came against Allegheny. Season opener for center. Romero looking to play it forward. Has it deflected away off the stick of a Colonel. Riley Weinfordner checks out, and Franca Veranek comes in her place. Last Friday, Veranek really was only on for about 5-minute stretches at a time, and it was Riley Weinfordner starting in her place today. And the starting 11 is Emily Giannis. But the other 10 starters the exact same from last Friday. Kaylee Truitt creates the turnover. Sends it to Brittany Clayball. An absolute missile in the direction of the senior from Chesapeake, Virginia. A little too hot for Clayball. Try to redirect and truly gain possession of. So it goes across the end line. Colonel's looking to get out of their defensive third. Poked away by Giannis. Veranek playing good defense. Those forwards applying a lot of high pressure. Poked away. Now it's Laro with it. Surrounded by white jerseys. Had 3 draped all over. Veranek has Giannis. Shot is wide right. You can see how quickly a shot and a good look can be formed in field hockey. When the snap of a finger goes from high press and a good pass from Veranek, and Giannis, I think, had a little bit more time than she might have realized. Had no defender around her, just the keeper in front of her. But immediately once the ball's in a striking position, tries to take her shot, leaves it wide right. And that's a positive sign for Lynchburg. They had the first shot of the day and haven't had one since. Now Laro looking to follow it up. Shot off the knee pads, sent away by Sienna Joseph. Lynchburg able to apply some pressure against Colonel's defense and results in a bad pass across the back line. That'll certainly help Lynchburg. Boatwright has Dunham in front of her. Gives back to Cameron. Out wide for Madison Mark. Can't handle the pass initially, able to keep it in. Kessa Romero picks up the loose ball. Gives chase. Marin Lee fighting with Romero for it. Whistle is blown. It'll go against Lynchburg. Center takes over with less than 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Ricochet off the stick. Has the loose ball go all the way out to Romero. Navigating for space. Foul goes against the Colonels. Now we're starting to see a shift in the time of possession. In the first half and the beginning of the third quarter, it was the Colonels in the driver's seat pressing forward, and now momentum seemingly shifted after Lynchburg got a couple of quality looks off against the center defense, and specific against the keeper, Sienna Joseph. A couple of shots. Looked like one was on goal. Dangerous ball from Varanek. Had Laro, and the pass pretty pinpoint. A little high and ruled a dangerous ball. So the foul ends the run for Lynchburg. Center in the same spot that we saw Lynchburg in at the end of the first half and early portions of the third quarter, just looking to clear. Get it out of the defensive third, give their defense a moment to catch their breath, reset a little bit. But Lynchburg, effectively so, keeping the pedal to the floor and not letting up. Could have had a chance there. Kate Pilcher couldn't handle the pass. Now Lynchburg working right to left. Long ball forward for Brittany Clayball. Navigates into the semicircle. Estes pokes it away for a second. Now cleared away by center. It'll stay with Lynchburg. Romero off the restart. Works from her right to her left. Gets inside the semicircle, and the foul is called. First penalty corner of the day coming for Lynchburg. It was a 3-0 advantage for center over Lynchburg at the halftime break in regards to PCs. Now the Hornets with a chance to break through the first score of the day. Emma Strauss will insert. At the very top of the circle, a cluster of players including Jackie Laro, Kaylee Truitt. On the near side, looks like Emily Giannis. Pass goes out to Laro. She'll set it down for Romero. Wants to redeflect as she passes from outside the circle. Brittany Clayball was in the vicinity. Nothing comes to the penalty corner, but Lynchburg does keep possession. Call it a failed success for the center defense. Can't relent yet. This will help. Sends it all the way back on the clear. Riley Cameron looking to send it back towards the top of the circle, and turnover created back the other way. No numbers advantage for center. Aaron Boatwright there to make up the necessary ground. But Caroline Page nearly did it all by herself. Or excuse me, make that Maggie Will. Because of Will's efforts, now center setting up and has possession deep into the Lynchburg side of the field. Whistle blown. Colonels restart. Less than 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Pass intended for Will. Strauss there to break it up. A weak clear. Rolls out to Speth. Laro, good defense. working against Shelby Young, and they'll say that Lero a little too strong on the shove. Page tries to go right to left against Giannis. Forced to hit the brakes, give it over to Wickenheiser, team leader with 5 goals on the year. Kaylee Truitt looks to clear for Lynchburg. Has the attempt deflected away by Broyles. But as it was last touched by the junior from Kentucky, Lynchburg have another go at it. Truitt again takes a mighty rip. This time it's broken up by Wickenheiser. Draws plenty of contact from behind from Franca Veronek, who will now exit towards the sideline. So a player advantage for center. And here's a moment where if center is able to convert and break through, get our first score, circle back that penalty against Veronek, as it gives center the player advantage. Play comes to a stop for a moment. Looks like they're trying to sort out the details for that card. 3:43 left in the third quarter. Wickenheiser one-on-one with Lero. Center will have possession. Wickenheiser gives over to Young. Passes to the top of the shooting circle, broken up by Strauss. Passing forward for Claybaugh. Keeps possession. Dribbling to her right, making it all the way out to the far sideline. Now sends back towards the middle of the field. Lots of contact between Claybaugh and Marin Lee. Pass to Romero. She'll give it off and send it towards the far end line corner. So possession goes back to the Colonels. So despite being a player down, Lynchburg had possession in the attacking third. Now back the other way. Center looking to mount a run. Pass goes right to Aaron Boatwright. Truitt from outside the shooting circle. Has it deflected. Cleared away for a moment by Joseph. Truitt the first one to it. And then draws contact from behind, and Lynchburg will be awarded with a penalty corner. They're second in the third quarter. And again, all coming with a player down. Really impressive stuff for the Hornets. Emma Strauss will once again insert. She had that honor all throughout last Friday's game against Ursinus until we got to overtime. And then it was Aaron Boatwright inserting. And, of course, that comes into a factor as Boatwright got the assist on Jackie Lero's goal. Pass goes out to Lero. She'll swing it over. Has Emma Strauss. Pass deflected and finds the back of the cage. Looked like Aaron Boatwright. Lynchburg strikes first and leads 1-0. Assist for Strauss, goal for Boatwright. Perfect execution for Lynchburg on the penalty corner. And now in a defensive battle, Lynchburg playing with the advantage. And this, in a lot of ways, plays to their strength as their defense has been phenomenal, especially today. Riley Weinfordner trying to fight for it back. Megan Coombs working against her for center. Wickenheiser into the attacking third. Less than 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Young swings over. 360 from Wickenheiser. Sends it towards the semicircle. Kicked away by Brady. Ball still live. Boatwright gets to it. She'll dribble towards the sideline, trying to eat up the clock, and will draw the foul against the Colonels. That will help eat clock, but also is a chance to try to force center back with a good clear. The pass picked off Center is right back to it, trying to press the advantage. Cameron has plenty of contact though against her, walks the sideline. And the clear ahead, taken away by Aaron Bozdek. Speth with Laro colliding into one another right at the midfield line. Less than a minute to go in the third quarter. Estes creates the turnover. Make that Bozdek. Pass missing along in the direction of Maggie Will. Boatwright gives to Riley Cameron. This is a spot here with less than 25 seconds to go. Lynchburg should just play keep away. Taken away by Coombs. She'll work towards the shooting circle. Taken away now by Boatwright. Good rip from Shelby Young. Pass to the circle. Taken away by Strauss. Loose ball. Ends up with Olivia Broyles. She'll dribble out the end of the third quarter. We finally have a score on the board. Lynchburg out in front, 1-0 right now. The goal accredited to Aaron Boatwright. The Hornets looking to hold on to that advantage for 15 more minutes. We'll step aside and come back with the final stanza between Lynchburg and Center on LHSN. Fourth quarter time between the Hornets and the Colonels. Center looking to overcome the one-goal deficit and improve to 7-0 on the year. Meanwhile, Lynchburg looking to make it back-to-back wins against ranked foe. They topped Ursinus last week 4-3 in overtime, and they head into the fourth quarter with a 1-0 lead. But the Center attack has been dangerous all day long, so definitely don't count out the number 18 Colonels. They will have possession start with Lynchburg here in the fourth quarter. The goal went to Erin Boatwright, her second on the year, sixth collegiate score in her sophomore season. The assist went to Emma Strauss, good for her third assist on the year. Ellie Dunham looking near side for Broyles. Emily Dudley there to take it away. Every game but one this year for Lynchburg decided by one goal. Meanwhile, Center has scored at least 2 goals every game this year. And there is a possibility where both those instances can stay true. But as it stands right now, at least one of those would give way. Caroline Page with it on the near side. Swinging it back middle for Shelby Young. All SAA second team in 2019. One of 3 players to start all 19 games for the Colonels in 2019. Marin Lee tripped up. Possession will go to Lynchburg, though. Strauss, fresh off the assist, will start up the possession. Looking to send it long for Jackie Laro. Almost had the step on Bella Estes, but a great play from the center back, ripping it away from Laro. Loose ball ends up with Caso Romero. Estes trying to play comeback on the play. Sends it into the circle, kicked away by Joseph. All the way back out the circle. Fortunately enough for center, no one there for the rebound opportunity for Lynchburg. Clear went in the direction of Pilcher. And after another deflection, Emily Dudley has it on the near side. Hard swing towards, and it rolls all the way into the circle. Ended up at the feet of Brittany Claybaugh. And it was more so Dudley just taking a hack at it. There's a more than 0% chance that it ends up in the circle. That's exactly what happened. Claybaugh just couldn't quite handle the high chopper in her direction. So center still looking to respond, only with the one shot on goal. That came all the way back in the first half. Laro looking for space. Won't find any instead. Gets the foul to go against center. Romero tries to work right to left. Also gets the foul to go against center. This will result in the third penalty corner on the day. In a lot of ways, you could look at the PCs as a difference. Now both sides even with three. It was a 3-0 advantage at the end of the first half. Center ahead of Lynchburg, but nothing to show for it. Here in the second half, that pendulum has swung completely in the direction. 3-0 advantage for the Hornets over the Colonels. And that second penalty corner resulted in the lone score on the board. Lynchburg with a chance to double their lead. Strauss to insert. Laro, Dudley, and Claybaugh at the top of the circle. Instead, goes to the far side wing. This is Romero. Kicking over to Laro. Tries to one-time it over to Dudley. She'll take a rip from outside the shooting circle. Had Truitt just in front of the post, but no redeflect for Lynchburg. Instead, goes out of play across the end line. Possession is going to stay with Lynchburg in the attacking third. Strauss wanted Romero, broken up by Dunham. And forward with plenty of tempo. The junior now kicks it out wide. Long pass ahead. Skips over the stick of Dunham. Riley Cameron all the way back to the end line. Creates some space as Dunham over pursues. The clear attempt. Picked up by center. Good ball into the circle and an own goal as Kayla Brady couldn't kick it away. The goal will be awarded to Ellie Dunham, but it was one that was rolling right to Brady. Tries to clear it away with the right leg. Unable to do so. Essentially serves as a whiff on the kick attempt and rolls into the back of the cage. An unforced error, to say the least, and we now have a tie game, and it looked like play was going to stop there, but no whistle was blown. So Lynchburg, looking to play after the restart, immediately forfeits it back over. Number 21, Martha Shapazy checks in. First time we've called her name today for the Hornets. Center sends it all the way back to their back line. Have to feel re-energized if you're a center fan. Get some help, and now you're in a tie game. Feels like momentum is back on your side where it was for a majority of the first half. Wickenheiser works to the end line, has Madison Mark behind her. The run will come to an end. Ball goes out of play. Might have been a foul. Didn't hear the whistle. Nonetheless, possession goes to the Hornets. Claybaugh nutmegs the defender. Has Laro ahead of her. Also Dudley. But a really nice play from like Emily Bosdeck, or Aaron Bosdeck, I beg your pardon. 10 minutes to go, left in regulation. Strauss looks to play forward. Pass from Young, ripped away by Claybaugh, and then Bella Estes does the exact same to Lynchburg. In the attacking third, pass was intended for Pilcher. Good clear from Lynchburg. Madison Mark to start the possession. Nothing doing on the possession for Lynchburg. Pass picked off of the midfield. Chapezi works towards the near sideline, gives back to Boatwright. She has the goal today for Lynchburg. Plays it towards the shooting circle. Center not only ends the chance for Lynchburg, has possession for a moment. Chapezi wins it back and at least deflects it out of play. And they're going to award possession to the Hornets, much to the displeasure of some of the Center fans in attendance. The Liberty University Field Hockey Complex. Center, though, wins it right back. Page carries forward out of the defensive third. Has a ricochet off the foot of Truitt. Pass for Broyles, broken up. Strauss to it. She'll play it quick off the restart. Has Dudley ahead of her after the advantage. But immediately has it ripped by Shelby Young, or so it appeared. Instead, foul called. Chapezi's pass offline, looking for Boatwright. Bosdak in that center back position also has Estes flanking to her left. Claybaugh pokes it out of play. Romero, too much steam, trying to get back to Claybaugh. Seven minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. Tied up 1-1. Goal for Lynchburg came in the third quarter. Center has the answer here in the fourth. Good move from Romero. Creates some space. Looking for Lero. Deflected off the stick and out of play. Common theme in the second half. Center trying to run their offense through that far side of the field. Lynchburg's tried to be relatively diverse in where they've tried to play their offense through, but a fair amount through the middle of the field and on our near side here in the second half. Romero dribbles out towards the corner. Bulldozes over Dunham, gets the foul to go against the junior. Strauss wants Romero. Defended well by Broyles and sent away. Madison Mark takes away the clear. But Estes takes it right back for center. Beats a defender. Great touch forward on the pass for Dunham. Able to keep it in play across the far sideline. Riley Cameron there to pick up the goal scorer today for center. A chance for Jackie Lero to catch her breath. She will check out. Sarah McCullum will come on in our place. Want to try to keep Laro's legs fresh, potentially for the final couple of minutes of this contest. Bozdek can't handle the pass from Estes, and here's a chance for Lynchburg to reverse field possession. Trying to play it quick as can be. Chapese has the pass broken up. Truitt fights with Wickenheiser for possession. Battle won by center. Wickenheiser carries forward for a couple of strides. Now gives back. Pass off the mark to Caroline Page. Now some passing errors here for center. And in a 1-1 game, those little miscues can certainly make a huge difference. At the top of the circle, Brittany Clayball has it for a moment. Foul goes against center. So the Hornets have possession in the attacking third. Playing off the restart. Truitt. Try to parlay it into the shooting circle. Whistle is blown and ends the run for Lynchburg. Less than 4 minutes to go in regulation. Loose ball. Gathered by Truitt. Has Chapese to her right. Dudley to her left. Pass doesn't go to either. Bozdek. Picked up now by Truitt. Wants Dudley. Those two not on the same page. Truitt sends it all the way back to Madison Mark. Wants Romero, broken up for a second. Now Romero fighting with two Colonels defenders. Gets the foul to go against center. Plays it quick. And draws another foul after she penetrates into this semicircle. And fourth penalty corner on the day now for Lynchburg, all coming in the second half. And a big chance here to try to recapture the momentum and put the Hornets back ahead after forfeiting the goal here in the fourth quarter, and it was won on an unforced error after a bad clear attempt from both the Hornets' back line, but also Kayla Brady herself. Strauss wins third once again. 2:51 left in the fourth quarter. Strauss wants Dudley. A step inside the circle, tries to go near side. Bottom left corner against Joseph, but misses just wide left. Good shot there from Dudley. Fifth year from Maryland. Third team all ODAC last year and in 2019. Lynchburg looking to press the attack more. Romero working towards the end line, draws the foul against center. We're seeing Romero just put her head down and barrel forward. And Romero single-handedly garners another penalty corner for Lynchburg. The junior from Virginia trying to put this Lynchburg offense on her back and create opportunities. We've seen these penalty corners go to a lot of different players, and that is something that Coach Angel Steele wants to have happen on these penalty corners. Doesn't want to just force feed Laro or Dudley or Boatwright or whoever it may be. Instead, wants to try to keep the defense on their toes and have a variety of plays to be able to go to. Far side wing now swung over to Laro. She has some space out in front. The pass under the stick of Kaylee Truitt. Sienna Joseph came all the way out from the net. All Truitt had to do was get the stick down and deflect it in. Unable to do so after the pass from Laro. Missed chance for Lynchburg to take the lead. Less than 2 minutes. Feels like this game might be destined for overtime. These two teams have been even all the way through. Chapaze's played really good since checking in here in the fourth. Pass ahead, wants Dudley. Pass goes a little long. Bozdek wins the possession for the Colonels. Tries to play it long. Riley Cameron to it. Pass intended for Boatwright, but a little miscommunication results in center taking over. Just over a minute left to be played. Druitt has a deflect off her forearm. Page works right. Chapezi deflects it out of play. And again, it'll be Caroline Page, junior from Charlotte. To begin the center offensive possession, Shelby Young looking for space to her right. Emily Dudley called for the foul. Less than 30 seconds to go. Bosdek. Over to Floro now in the midfield. Coombs had it for a second. Lero carries it all the way across into positive territory, but swept away by Estes. Less than 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Long pass ahead to Dunham. Marked up by Cameron. And that will bring a close to the fourth quarter. 1-1 your score. Center able to tie it up, and that will send us to overtime. Don't go anywhere. Hopefully you all have enjoyed this game, and there's more of it coming your way. The Hornets and the Colonels headed to overtime here on LHSN. Welcome back to Lynchburg, Virginia. We're getting set for overtime between Lynchburg and Center. We'll show you some of the stats from the end of regulation. 1-1 your score, and it continues to be an evenly fought contest. 6-4 shot advantage for Lynchburg. Shots on goal at 3-2 Hornets over the Colonels you see on your screen. Penalty corners. Center was up 3-0 at the half. And the second half goes to the advantage of Lynchburg, 4-0 in the final 30 minutes, quote-unquote final. And then for fouls, 28-17, Lynchburg starting to have that number work to a closer equal state with Center, as the Hornets were able to play a lot more on the offensive side in the second half. Goal for Lynchburg coming from Aaron Boatwright. The goal for Center being awarded to Ellie Dunham after it was a poor clear attempt from the Lynchburg defense. And in a lot of ways is a own goal, so the last person to touch it for Center was Dunham. And now we're into overtime. 2 consecutive games that Lynchburg has found themselves in OT. Last week was a 4-3 victory over Ursinus. The golden goal coming from Jackie Laro after a penalty corner inserted by Aaron Boatwright. Meanwhile, Center has scored at least 2 goals in every game played this year, and today has forfeited just their 4th goal allowed. And their first goal surrendered in 3 games. 7-on-7. We'll have 2 10-minute periods if we need them, and it's, of course, golden goal setting. Pass ahead looking for Dunham. Broken up by Boatwright. Dunham and Boatwright battle for possession. Swung up to the near sideline. Jackie Laro with plenty of space in front of her. Has Dudley ahead of her as well. Great play from Bella Estes. Man, can we talk about the play from the center back for Center? Done a fantastic job getting her stick down and ending a myriad of Lynchburg possessions today. Wickenheiser with possession in the middle of the field. We'll swing it out wide for Marin Lee. Romero, the closest defender, will send Lee towards midfield. Now spin back towards the sideline. Foul call just outside the circle. Lee takes a stride back. Pressure applied by Dudley. Kicked out to Wickenheiser. Romero gets a stick on it. Deflects it away, and it looks like a foul called. Center will pick it up and restart from outside the circle. Wickenheiser gets past Dudley. Past another defender. Strauss gets her stick down. Ends the run. Foul goes against Center, ending the possession. Laro gets past Estes. Laying out, breaking it up is the new keeper, Carly McHenry. Towards the post, the pass from Laro sent away by the Center defense. And talking about that keeper, McHenry playing in her 5th game now, and apologies for not noting the adjustment. The numbers on the Center jerseys are very tough to tell a difference between, so at halftime, the change was made from Sienna Joseph to bring in the freshman Carly McHenry. The freshman has not disappointed. Native to Wilmington, Delaware. Comes away with a big stop early on in our first overtime period. Romero looking for any sort of space. Inside the semicircle. Foul called. Goes against the Colonels. Penalty corner number 1 of the overtime period. And especially in a 7-on-7 setting, these penalty corners become that much more of an advantage for the offense, and a huge opportunity for Lynchburg trying to make it back-to-back overtime wins against ranked opponents. Last week they took down number 13 Ursinus. Today, Aaron Boatwright heads out and stands at the end line to insert, just as she did last week, to take down the Bears. Looking to take down number 18, Center Colonels. Pass swung out. Romero looking for space, working right to left. The pass intended for Laro. A beat behind it. Colonels come up with a big defensive stop. Less than 7.5 minutes to go in our first overtime period. Wickenheiser down the middle of the field. Dudley's behind her. Long pass ahead. And a little long for Olivia Broyles. Strauss will start the run for the Hornets. Time of possession into the favor of Lynchburg here in overtime. Laro gathers. No numbers advantage, but so much pace ahead. Estes there to defend. Shot deflected away by McKiernan. Or McHenry, I beg your pardon. The clear goes all the way back to Madison Mark. Her pass intended for Romero, picked off by center. Marin Lee can't keep it in play. Just a touch too strong. And Lynchburg retakes possession. Looking to play up that far sideline. Brittany Claybaugh, the intended target, but pass immediately broken up. Offensive possession will restart for the Hornets. Mark has it deflected right at Jackie Laro inside the circle. Foul will go against center, but it won't be a penalty corner. Instead, Lynchburg will gain possession inside the attacking third. Mark over to Romero. Again, working on that far sideline. That's been the point of attack for Lynchburg today. Romero backs out. Has Claybaugh just ahead of her. Defended by Lee. And blocked up by a center defender. They're going to be called for a foul and awarding another penalty corner for Lynchburg. So Carly McHenry will face another test. Boatwright will insert. Three players along the circle are Jackie Laro, Brittany Claybaugh, and Kessa Romero. Pass goes to Laro. She'll swing it out for Romero, right to left. One more pass, it's Laro. Back to Boatwright. And another foul on the play. It'll be looked like it was going to be another penalty corner, and it appears that will be the call. Boatwright picks up the ball, and we'll talk with Claybaugh, Laro, and Romero, talking about play design, for lack of a better term. Third penalty corner of the overtime period, all for Lynchburg. Laro tries to go right to left. Center defender loses her stick. Laro spins, shoots, ball still live, and played up and into the stomach of a center defender. Be a team save. Looks like it might have been Marin Lee catching the worst of that shot from Laro. 2-on-1 for center. They can't get past Strauss. What a play. Foul will be called against Lynchburg, but now the Hornets can set their defense. Poked away by Claybaugh. Laro can't pick it up. Wickenheiser gets past Boatwright. Poked out by Strauss. Boatwright gathers the loose ball. Behind her is Claybaugh. Laro way out in front. Right to left. Boatwright takes it herself. Now swept away by Estes. Back out to Romero. Claybaugh wants Laro. Another penalty corner on the way. Caroline Page was standing just in front of McHenry. Looks like it deflected off her body. Her and Laro were vying for position to be able to get to it. Another penalty corner now. Boatwright will insert from the far side. And every penalty corner here in overtime has gone to Laro And all but the last one, Lero swung it over to Romero. And now with the field reverse, does the pass go to Romero, then to Lero, or well, let's stay with Romero. Pass does go out to Romero. She'll kick it over to Lero with some space in front of her, working back to her right. Shot deflected. Clayball gets a stick on it, and another penalty corner on the way. Lynchburg dominating the time of possession game here in OT. And now you're playing a numbers game, and it's a dangerous one at that for a center. Can't keep awarding penalty corners to Lynchburg because despite the Hornets not converting yet, it will be a matter of time with looks this good, especially in the 7-on-7 setting. The penalty corner is 3-on-3 plus the keeper. Romero sends it back to Boatwright. Ball still live. Game winner! Brittany Clayball with the golden goal. History does repeat itself. Back-to-back overtime wins for Lynchburg against ranked opponents. Last Friday it was taken down number 13 Ursinus. Today it's taken down number 18 Center. A fantastic battle between both teams. Needs to go to overtime to decide the victor. What a game. Thank you all for joining us on this Saturday evening. Lynchburg improves to 3-3. Meanwhile, Center suffers their first loss on the season and fall to 6-1. Some great play today. Aaron Boatwright got the first goal for Lynchburg, but our LHSN player of the game has to go to Brittany Clayball. You get the game winner. That's an easy pathway to garnering that honor. If you're a Center fan watching, I think you saw your team put up a great fight against a really quality Lynchburg team that's starting to hit their stride. So despite the loss, the moral victory is not paying bills. I think there's still some things you can take away from today as positives moving forward. As on your upcoming schedule, it's not going to get any easier moving ahead at Washington and Lee versus DePauw, and then home against Mary Washington. Meanwhile, Lynchburg, after the win today, will head out to Roanoke, start ODAC play on Wednesday. Then they're staying on the road to take on Denison, and then the next day at Kenyon. That's going to bring a close to our field hockey broadcast here on LHSN. One final time, Lynchburg wins it 2-1 in overtime over Center. Colonels 6-1, Hornets improved to 3-3. Heard my director Sam Rice and the rest of our fantastic LHSN production crew. My name's TJ Wingard, and until next time, we are signing off.